All right, so the English language characters are all in the ASCII, okay? So the alphabets, the numerals, okay, the punctuations, they are all in ASCII. Now, if you want to, for instance, write code and print things out in French, right? Or in Greek or any other language, then you need more than the ASCII because the ASCII is limited. Is that okay? So things like French, the apostle, the Saint Chapeau stuff and the heart things in French. If you want to do that, then you need the Unicode character set. Okay, you need the Unicode character set. In fact, the Unicode character set almost contains every language, the characters in almost any language in the world. Okay. Now you can read more about it if you are interested, but I will give you information on it as and when it's what is necessary. Okay. So if I do U, if I put the moment I put U in front of any string, then Python is automatically going to render it as Unicode, right? So if I say bet, right now, this /x26 represents a certain Unicode character. We will see it right now. So bet/x26 any, right? And then I close it. If I hit enter, see what gets printed. So, and the ampersand, though it is in the ASCII character, it's an ASCII character, in Unicode is represented as what? /x26. Is that okay? So maybe let's find out what other values are. Let's try to change this. So let's, for instance, let's put 40, right? What Unicode character would this be? You see that? So all the characters have representations. Let's try. Give me a value. Somebody should give me a value. Give me a value to check. Hills, give me any number.
1.
97. Oops, 97 didn't print anything. Did I make any mistake? Okay, let's see. 99, nothing. Whoa.
1. How about 1?
1, I don't think 1 would be. Yeah, so 1 is not a thing. Let's say 10. Hey, it's like my Unicode is no more working. Okay, so 27 back. Oh, okay. So maybe let me just bring my browser up and then we look at the Unicode characters, okay? And look at the Unicode characters. So you can read about some of these things. So take note for the sake of those who aren't here. I said that the English alphabet, everything in English, the symbols, the numbers are encoded in something called the ASCII, okay? But if we want to write things in French or in Greek, in other languages, then ASCII you can't get all the characters in ASCII. So you have to go in a much wider extension and we use Unicode for that, okay? So let me just bring up the Unicode characters and then we try to print some of them up. Okay, so let's go online and search for Unicode characters, okay? All right, so let's see. My internet is misbehaving. Okay, so you can actually read a lot about the Unicode characters. So you see, we have their decimal representation and their octal representation, okay? So when I use the slash, I think we also have the base 16 representation of it, okay? So yeah, all these are different characters that you can, so just check it out, okay? Check it out, but then, yeah, just check it out. If you want to do it here, we may end up wasting some time. So know that there are some character sets that have characters beyond the ASCII values, okay? and we call them the Unicode character set. So after this, make it as your assignment and check them out. But take note, ampersand is actually an ASCII character too, okay? So if you want to print something like degrees Celsius, let me see if I can, I've been using degrees Celsius for a while. Let me see if I can remember 225. Would this do anything? No. Okay. X 225. Ah, that's funny. So 22 actually printed the double quotes, right? X22 is actually double quotes. All right, so you can just play around with it. Okay. So strengths, we are still on strengths, okay? Oh, so anytime you have to put characters together. So let's say I'm writing code and I have to save somebody's telephone number. Which of the data types do you think would be appropriate for telephone number? Which of the data types do you think would be appropriate for a telephone number?
Integers.
Integers. Okay, so give me your telephone number. Oh, let me take a random telephone number. So a particular random telephone number could be 0243 56 57 57, right? Now, look at this. I'm going to hit enter. Leading zeros in decimal integer literals are not permitted. Okay, so that means if you want to save this as an integer, then you would have to do 2, 4, 3, blah, 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 without the zero, right? But you see, come to think of it, what can you do with somebody's telephone number apart from saving it? Okay, so things like telephone numbers is best saved as a string, though it's a number. It is best if you save it as well, a string. You see, so if I save it as a string, it maintains itself. Is that okay? So let me do something real quick. Don't worry about it. So let's say I want to take telephone number from somebody. I can create something like this. Don't worry, you get to understand what I'm doing very soon. So I'll do something like, please enter your telephone number. Okay, please enter your telephone number. And the person is going to enter the telephone number. So you see, when I hit enter, it asks, please enter your telephone number. So 0244 43 43 43, enter. Right now, if I print tail, you see the telephone number that I took from the person. Okay, but if you try to use an integer, then you are going to lose the zero. In fact, you are not even going to be permitted by the Python interpreter in a case. Okay, all right. So once we have we have told the computer the kind of data it is supposed to, the kind of data we are inputting, then we can also perform certain operations on the data. Is that okay? Now, what would we like to do with data? We can operate on data using operators. Okay, so in mathematics, if we take the arithmetic operators, for instance, let's create something. Let's create something. I'm going to exit. Okay, so now I'm in my command prompt. Let us open Notepad. In fact, let's open Ideal. Yesterday, I showed you that there is a program called Ideal. Okay, so we created it on our desktop. Created on a desktop, learn a skill. So let's open hello world.py, for instance. Open with Ideal. You can use any editor you want. Okay, let me switch to Visual Studio Code directly now. No matter what, I'll be using it. So I'm launching my Visual Studio Code. Henceforth, I'll be programming in it. All right, good. So that's my Visual Studio Code. Okay. So give me some few seconds to configure it. Put this here. In fact, let me maximize it. And then, oh, come on. Let me close this guy, it's disturbing me. Okay. Let me maximize this and then open a terminal. So there is a terminal that you can open directly in Visual Studio Code instead of, okay. So now I have a place to write my scripts. Oh, why did this switch? Don't like this. Okay, so now I have a place to write my script and a place to, so I'm going to write a simple program that would take a user's, let's say, year of birth, right? And the program will tell the person his age, okay? So to do that, first of all, I will need a place to store that thing. So don't worry about what I'm going to do right now. You get to know it, but I just want to show you something. Okay, so I said that we can, when we have data, we can operate on data using what? Operators, right? So I'm going to do a sample example, which you will learn how to do later. Let me quickly